Come join me as I show you around my 1-acre homestead. So yesterday we talked about the front yard and I introduced you to the rabbits and the ducks. So I should have probably mentioned my 2 holding pens, but because they included the goats, I didn't. So to the side of the house, I have this front holding pen next to the road. It's actually opened up to my main pasture right now. And the reason for that is that it's really hot and my goats are going to need shade. So this tree offers a lot of shade. And this is Goose. He's in my transition holding pen that's right next to the house. The reason for that is him and my other buck in the back, who you will meet tomorrow, Bandit, we're not getting along. So this pen is meant for if I have somebody that isn't getting along and I have nowhere else to put them. Or if I have babies that I'm weaning from mama, things like that, this pen can be used. So let's go say hi to Goose. Goose is just over a year old. He turned a year old in April. He is a daddy now. So the 2 babies I have right now and the babies that are due from Miss Marigold, who you're about to meet, are actually his. So we might do 1 or 2 more breedings from him, and then Goose will be looking for a new farm. I got him because he's very dairy and he has a mama with a really nice udder and nice large teats, which is something I'm trying to improve. Hey boy. Yep, you. Cammy is our newest doeling. She's actually my girl. She is... Flower, don't fight with Cammy. So Cammy's about 11 weeks old. She comes from the same farm as Flower and Harley, but has a different mama. Flower here was a bottle baby, and she is a nibbler and likes to jump on you and is always underfoot. Anywhere I go, she goes. Now, Miss Huckleberry here is one of Tiny's daughters. She's one of my newest. She's 2.5 weeks old. Hey, baby girl. Huckleberry, I'm not your mommy. Where's your sister, Adeline? Oh, there's Adeline. That's Huckleberry's little sister. They are only 2.5 weeks old. And they're doing so good. Tiny's their mama. If she hears him calling, she will run across the pasture. So she's a good mama. But Flower here is hopefully due in November, first part of November. Huh, girl? So we Adeline, Flower, Huckleberry, Cammy, is the black and white one. Next to the fence is Tiny. So Tiny is the mama. So the 2 girls, Adeline and Huckleberry, will actually be Tiny's replacements for a few reasons. One, Tiny is really hard to milk. She doesn't like the stand and she has tiny little teats. And she also has horns, which is not ideal. So she actually will get caught in my fences some places because of her horns, which is really dangerous. So after her babies are weaned, Miss Tiny here will be looking for a new home. So if you're from the Virginia area and you want a registered goat, Miss Tiny is a great backyard good doe. Marigold here is due any time, aren't you? I thought she was going to kid Monday. She was laying down, scratching out her belly, acting like she was starting to go. When you going to pop, girl? Huh? And then Harley, next to Miss Cammy, they grew up together because they came from the same farm. Harley, the buckskin, she is my son Joseph's doe. So Joseph is getting ready to turn 9. And so he is able to join 4-H. Harley is his little 4-H project. So yeah, this is my primary pasture. It's connected to those 2 small pens, my garden, and then I have a gate that goes out to the driveway and where the kids play. So this is my garden fence. It is 48 inches tall. I know the goats could get in there if they really wanted to, but it's enough to deter them, and I do have minis, so it is harder for them too. So this bed right here is not done. It is bigger than my other beds. It's a 4x8 instead of a 3x6. It is to transplant my strawberries, which are on the bed all the way at the end with the asparagus, into. My strawberries kind of took over that bed, and it's just not enough room. So we're going to put them in a bigger bed, and then I'm going to transplant some of them to the front as well. This bed has corn and beans and a couple pumpkins in it right now. This is my 4th year trying corn, and last year was the only year I've ever been successful doing it in beds. I have done corn in a garden before, but raised beds is a lot different. And so I think this is my last year doing corn, since I've only had 1 out of 4 attempts actually be successful. So, oh well, what I'll do is I'll just feed the stalks to the goats. Over here I have some winter squash, some zucchini and yellow squash with some marigolds in the middle. I am starting to get some powdery mildew, so I might have to spray. I dug up most of my potatoes. The ones I haven't dug up are almost ready for me to dig up because their plants are starting to die back. Got some herbs. That's lavender and thyme right there. The pitiful bed with the onions in it right now, I just pulled out the cabbages and the turnips, so it's mostly just onions left in there. They are getting ready to be harvested. The buckets are some herbs, lots of peppers, a couple tomatoes. This was a trial run for that. I've never done it before. Some of it did okay, some of it didn't, so we're going to do a few things differently next year with that. This bed here is my tomatoes. I didn't have enough cages because I had 6 in this bed. So what I did is I just took 2 of the folding cages and kind of hit 2 of the corners where they seem to be leaning towards to keep them off the ground. And look at this. All these Romas. My basil looking really good. That's that strawberry asparagus bed I was talking about. And then this is green beans and cucumbers, some dill, and of course my sunflowers that haven't bloomed yet. On my concrete pad, which used to have a carport on it before the people moved and took it down, I have a greenhouse. I eventually want to move that over near the garden. I have a little makeshift shelter for milking, and then there's a shed that I use for feed right now. And then the big shed I use for hay and personal storage. On top of all my pens, I do have 3 pastures for the goats. The primary one we're in now, this middle pasture, which there is a holding lot over behind the gray shed to the side of the tan shed. There is a holding lot there. I need to put the fence back up. And then the back pasture out near the chickens. So I want to take a little time to talk about the plans I have for this place. So what I'm wanting to do is the concrete pad where I currently have my greenhouse, I'm wanting to move the greenhouse over next to the garden. And then the little shed that's on it that I makeshifted with the tarp and the cattle panel, I want to just disassemble it. And then leave the metal shed. It's only 6.5 foot tall, and the doorway is only 5 foot tall. I want to leave that and make it the actual hay shed. Then I want to put a carport over top of the whole thing. That will create a nice covered area that I can park the bikes and the mower, maybe put some kidding stalls in there, and or some rabbit cages, so the rabbit cages are out of the weather from where they are up front. And I really want that to just be a nice covered area for expansion. And then I want to take the tan and red shed that I have that's really big, that currently has my hay and junk storage in it, and I want to clear it out and make that into a creamery for my goats. I have always wanted a creamery. I grew up with dairy cows, and actually at one point in my life I thought that I was working towards having a creamery for my dairy cows. And then, life happens, so it didn't end up panning out. But now that I'm where I am in life now, I want to have a small creamery for my goats. But before I can do that, I will need to purchase a small piece of property to put my bucks and my pigs on in order to reduce some of the stress on the land I have here and give my girls the optimum grazing space so that they have good production. So that's kind of like a 5-year plan for you guys. Thank you for watching the whole thing. Come back tomorrow to meet the pigs and see what I'm doing with the chickens.